welcome back to my channel. In this video class, I am going to start with states of matter. So, you are going to learn about synapses, which is very much needed for your competitive examinations like CET, NEET as well as JEE. There are different topics you have come across under this chapter, states of matter. It includes both the theoretical concepts as well as problems. There are different laws you have already learned, and these laws already meant with different formulas and along with the definitions. You should be thorough about all the definitions along with the formula. And these formulae can be helpful for cracking the questions which includes the problems also. Here we can start with different topics. Very first introductory topic which comes under the chapter states of matter. Yadudu intermolecular forces. So intermolecular forces, there are different types. London forces, or it is also called as dispersion forces. Then dipole forces, dipole induced dipole forces, ion dipole forces, next ion induced dipole forces, next hydrogen bond. Here if you start with London forces or dispersion forces, here that forces of attraction which exists between the neutral molecules or the neutral atoms, as you can consider. Here for example, hydrogen, if you take two such hydrogen, between two hydrogen molecules, even there is certain forces of attraction. That forces of attraction is due to the polarity between this molecule and this molecule. Even there is a slight polarity will be raised among these molecules, and one will gain delta positive, another will gain delta negative. So that results in the force of attraction, which is also called as London forces. The other set of examples you can say, even the noble gas, the atoms, they are in atomic state and they can exist in neutral state. Even there is a possibility for the attraction. Which type of attraction or which type of intermolecular forces? That is London forces or dispersion forces. And here next forces of attraction or the interaction forces is dipole forces. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಅಂತ ನೇಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ ಪೊಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಟೂ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ between HCl and HCl, another HCl. Here the polarity will be there delta positive. Here polarity is delta negative. The polarity which is opposite, they are attract together. Then it causes dipole forces of attraction or dipole intermolecular forces. Hence example for this one is the force of attraction which exists between HCl molecules or between HI molecules. Then if you go for dipole induced dipole forces, you have to take two such molecules. One is having polarity, polarization is there due to the electronegativity difference, delta positive, delta negative, but it is neutral molecule because polarity is not there because of identical atoms. So here it is already having delta negative, delta positive. It induces polarity within this molecule also. Hence delta negative, it attracts delta positive. It will become delta negative. So now force of attraction exists between dipole and induced dipole molecules. Hence that force is dipole induced dipole forces. Next one, ion dipole forces. Even you can consider intermolecular forces of attraction that is existing between ion as well as the neutral molecules. For example, that neutral molecule you have to focus here, that one is ion, other one is that neutral molecule which is having dipole forces. That is polarity will be there for that molecule. In water there is polarity, delta negative, delta positive. And here Na plus is positive, it is attracted towards delta negative oxygen. Hence the force of attraction exists between Na plus and this delta negative carrying oxygen atoms. Therefore it is example for ion dipole forces. And if you consider even anion, Cl minus, it is attracted by hydrogen because you know that water is acting as a universal solvent and polarity is very much high in case of water because of presence of more electronegative oxygen atom. And less electronegative or highly electropositive, that is H plus you can consider here when compared to oxygen, delta positive. Now Cl minus is attracted towards delta positive charge carrying hydrogen atoms. Therefore, these two are examples for ion dipole forces. And next, ion induced dipole forces. One thing is here, it is not molecule. One species is ion, another species is molecule. But there is no polarity initially, but it has been induced because of NO3 minus. NO3 minus induces polarity. It is negative means it induces delta positive. It will become delta negative. Therefore, the polarity is induced here. Hence, the name is ion induced dipole forces. It is a force of attraction existing between ion and induced dipole molecule. Next, special type of bond, which is called as hydrogen bond. As you know, hydrogen bond is special type of bond which exists between electropositive hydrogen atom and electronegative atoms like either nitrogen or oxygen or fluorine. So here you can consider, in case of these two examples, we can take hydrogen fluoride as one of the example. If you take hydrogen fluoride as example, in between hydrogen fluoride molecules, certain force of attraction exists between electropositive hydrogen and electronegative fluorine. Electronegative fluorine, because both are carrying opposite charges, delta positive, delta negative. This bond is called as hydrogen bond. Even if you go for some organic compounds like alcohol, so ROH, OH, one molecule which contains OH group that is having hydrogen atom, it makes special type of bond with electronegative oxygen atom with another molecule of alcohol. So this bond is called as hydrogen bond. Even you know that there is a possibility, even the degree of hydrogen bond is very much high in case of water. So if you consider this is one water molecule, this hydrogen atom can make bond with oxygen atom of another water molecule. So it is also resulting in hydrogen bond. Got it? So these are the different types of intermolecular forces. And here you remember, in case of London forces, as you say that there will be increase in the size of the atoms or the molecular mass of the atoms or the increase in the number of electrons, there will be increase in the forces. There will be increase in the forces. And here even you consider with respect to the either this is London forces or dipole forces or dipole induced dipole forces, those intermolecular forces are proportional to 1 by r to the power 6, where r is nothing but it is the distance between the atoms or the molecules. That force will be proportional to 1 by r to the power 6. But in case of solid, that if you consider dipole forces, or even in case it is solid means it is said to be, that force will be proportional to 1 by, that force is proportional to 1 by r to the power 3, but it is only in case of solid. Got it? So that is regarding intermolecular forces. Next, regarding intermolecular forces versus thermal energy. So as you know, intermolecular forces, they are trying to bring the molecules closer together. There will be a force of attraction between the molecules which help those molecules to come closer together. Whereas if we consider this thermal energy, that thermal energy, it is due to the movement or motion of the molecules or the atoms in a substance. And here this thermal energy is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. As the temperature increases, there will be increase in the thermal energy, because as you raise the temperature, there will be increase in the movement of the molecules, and hence the thermal energy will also get increases. And this thermal energy is actually the measure of the average kinetic energy. And if you say 3 states of matter, solid, liquid and gas, in each state of these matters, there will be existence of both thermal energy as well as intermolecular forces. But both are acting in opposite direction. That is, if one increases, other will get decreases. If there is increase in thermal energy, there will be decrease in intermolecular forces. Therefore, in solids, the molecules are compactly arranged. The intermolecular forces will be very much higher in case of solid and thermal energy will be less. But when you move from solid to liquid, the movement of molecules will be higher, and here the thermal energy will be increasing and there will be decrease in the intermolecular forces. But from liquid to gas, still there will be increase in the movement of the molecules, and hence the thermal energy will be more, it will be increasing, and intermolecular forces, hence it will get decreasing. So therefore, from solid to gas, the thermal energy getting increases, at the same time intermolecular forces get decreases. And if we come for this gaseous state, so gaseous state, it is one of the form of the matter, where you can consider there is a very weak van der Waals forces of attraction between the molecules, and these gases are very free in movement, and here their average kinetic energy will be very much high, and their influence, that is gravitational influence, will be very much less in case of the gases. Gases can undergo diffusion, so they can just uniformly mix together with different gases. If you take different types of gases, all gases are going to mix up together uniformly with each other, and whatever the space is available, they are going to occupy that space, hence it causes the diffusion of the gases. And if we come for this gaseous state, there are different measurable properties with respect to gases. And very firstly, before going for that measurable properties, first you should remember what is this STP? Standard temperature and pressure, or it is normal temperature and pressure. And here if you say that what is the temperature will be written in terms of degrees Celsius, or in another scale it is written in terms of Kelvin. So that is standard temperature is 273.15 Kelvin. Got it? And standard pressure is 1 bar, or it is 10 power 5 Pascal. Okay, if you come for measurable properties of gases, so we can just consider the mass of a gas in different scales, and then volume. If we come for very first mass, so we can consider this mass can be written in both CGS. In CGS it is written in terms of grams. In SI unit it is written in terms of kilograms, that is kg. If you say that mass of 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules, that is called as gram molecular mass. So that means 1 gram molecular mass is nothing but it is the mass of that gas which contains how many molecules? Avogadro number of molecules, that is 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules. Then if you want to find out number of moles is equal to mass by molecular mass. If they have given the mass value, and if you know the molecular mass value, by dividing this you will get the answer, that is the number of moles. Then with regarding to the weight of 11.2 liter of gas at STP, we have to take ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೋಬೇಕು weight gas to, so 11.2 liters of gas ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. So ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಯಾವ condition ಅಲ್ಲಿ? At STP, standard temperature and pressure. Then what is the weight of that gas? That volume of gas is measuring what is that weight. So that weight will be considered as vapor density. Then what is meant by vapor density of the gas? It is the weight of 11.2 liters of gas at STP. Got it? And here we can consider that vapor density is different from density here. Here vapor density is independent of temperature. It will be one and the same. Vapor density will be one and the same for any particular gas at different temperatures. But density is depending on the temperature. If you change the temperature, density of that particular gas will also change, but not vapor density. And next measurable quantity with respect to gas, that is volume. So here if we consider that volume, so which is that measurement? So 1 liter if we consider, 1 liter is equal to 10 power 3 cc, that is equal to 10 power 3 ml. So this 10 power 3 ml milliliter, it is equal to 10 power minus 3 meter cube, and it is also equal to 1 dm cube. So if you say 1 liter is nothing but 1 dm cube, or 10 power 3 ml, that is 1000 ml. All are same. 1 meter cube is equal to how many liters? 1000 liter. And here that 1000 liter is also equal to 10 power 6 ml. You should be familiar about all these units with respect to this volume. If you say that standard volume at STP, so as it is updated value is the standard volume at STP is given as 22.711 liter mole inverse. You remember this? That standard volume at STP is 22.711 liter per mole or liter mole inverse. Next, let us go for pressure. So here, as you know, pressure of gas is measured in nanometer. So and even you can measure atmospheric pressure by using barometer. So here 1 atmosphere will be equal to 76 centimeter of mercury. So that is equal to 760 mm of mercury. So that is also equal to 760 TRR. So here you know that you just remember 1 bar will be equal to 10 power 6 dynes per centimeter. It can also be equal to 10 power 5 Pascal, that is in Pascal scale. And if you write this in atmosphere, that will be equal to 1 bar will be exactly equal to 0.987 atmosphere. And here this dynes per centimeter, it is in CGS system. And newtons, in case SI unit for pressure, it will be newtons per meter square. And here you remember 1 Pascal will be equal to 1 Newton per meter square, that is equal to 1 kg per meter second inverse. You should be able to remember all these units conversions wherever it is required while solving the problems. You have to remember all these formula. And here if you say the value 1 atmosphere is equal to how many dynes per centimeter square, that is 1.01325 into 10 power 6. And in case if you want to convert atmosphere into kilopascal, you can write it as 101.325 kilopascal. Got it? And if you come for the next measurable property of gas, that is temperature. So temperature is expressed, as you know, it is expressed in terms of Kelvin scale, that is absolute scale, as an absolute temperature can be measured in Kelvin scale. You are able to convert that degree Celsius into Kelvin with the help of this formula. In case in the given problem they have mentioned that temperature in degree Celsius, then you can convert that into Kelvin by using the formula T degree Celsius plus 273. That means you have to add 273. 273 add madadre degree Celsius na Kelvin convert ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. In case problem ಮತ್ತೆ option ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ degrees ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ again if you want to convert that degrees into Kelvin means then you are able to, you have to subtract 273. Got it? ಒಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ Kelvin degrees convert ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 273 add ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. degrees ನ Kelvin convert ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 273 subtract ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ absolute 0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So absolute 0 value is exactly minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. And even you remember these points. ಏನದು absolute 0 ಅಲ್ಲಿ molecular motion in the gaseous state, that is all the gaseous molecules, the movement will be ceased and the pressure and volume of the gas becomes 0. So nil ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. pressure 0, volume ಕೂಡ 0. That is at what? Absolute 0. And kinetic energy of gas also becomes 0. Got it? So very important concept under this chapter, states of matter, that is regarding different laws which are called as gas laws. So we can start from Boyle's law. And the next law will be Charles law. So students get usually yavaglu iveradalli confusion. Boyle's law ಮತ್ತೆ Charles law. So don't get confused here. So Boyle's law, it is at constant temperature and it is relating pressure and volume. So here the temperature is, it has been kept constant. So which are two variables. One is volume, other one is pressure. So according to Boyle's law, the volume of given mass of gas is inversely proportional to pressure. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇರೋಂಥ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಆನ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಐದರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. And here it is inversely proportional, means as you raise the pressure there will be decrease in the volume. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವೋ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟು ಒನ್ ಅನದರ್, ದಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಾಲಿಟಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಪಿ ವಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಪಿ ವಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ನ 2 ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಸೇಮ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಸೊ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಗ ಫೈನಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ನೀವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್, ಸೊ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋನ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಫೈನಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಅವಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತಾನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್, ಫೈನಲ್ pressure, final volume, one will be unknown. Like that they will be given data in the given problem in your examinations, so that you can remember these expressions. So PV is equal to K and P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. And here you remember by applying log P plus log V, you are going to get constant. Even question will be raised based on the graphs also. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ವೆರಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಹೈಪರ್ಬೋಲಾ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹೈಪರ್ಬೋಲಾ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್, ಹೌ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈ ಪ್ಲಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಗೇನೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಗೇನೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಒಂದು ಹೈಪರ್ಬೋಲಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ T1 ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ T2 ಇದೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ T3. ಅಂದರೆ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸೊ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ವೇರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಷರು ವೇರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಸ್ ದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್, ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್? Pressure is keep on increasing. So volume as it decreases, pressure it will get increases. That is proven by this graph practically. ಈಗ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ T2 ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಹೈಪರ್ಬೋಲಾ ಶೇಪೇ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. T3 ತಗೊಂಡಾಗೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಹೈಪರ್ಬೋಲಾ ಶೇಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಅಟ್ 3 ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್, as it is given T3 is greater than T2, T2 is greater than T1. ಅಂದರೆ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. got it? As you decrease the volume, there will be much increase in the pressure with an increase in the temperature. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಈ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಈ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ T1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ T2 ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. T3 ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಸೊ ಆಗ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹಿಯರ್ you are going to get the parallel line to either pressure or volume. So x axis ಅಲ್ಲಿ pressure ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಥವಾ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಬಟ್ y axis ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ you are going to get that constant value of PV. Either when it is increase in pressure or increase in volume, you are going to get constancy with product of pressure and volume. Got it? That is also another graphical representation. And here, pressure is plotted against 1 by V. It is not V. Pressure is plotted against 1 by V, inverse of V. So then you are going to get the straight line which is passing through the intercept. Here also you can identify T3 is greater than T2, T2 is greater than T1. ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, one specific 1 by V ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಆ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ 1 by V ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಲಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ 1 by V ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. got it? That is represented by this graph. And another graph here, log P when it is plotted against log 1 by V, then you are going to get this intercept value log K, and you are going to get the slope will be positive here. But log P when it is plotted against not log of 1 by V but log of V, then you are getting here positive slope but you are getting negative slope here. That is the difference here. And these are the different graphical representations for Boyle's law you have to remember. And next, relation between density and pressure. There is a relation between density as well as pressure. Density is equal to K into P. Here, if you remove proportionality constant, D is directly proportional to pressure. So what is the meaning? As you raise the pressure, there will be increase in the density. As you decrease the pressure, there will be decrease in the density. That is the meaning of it. And here, as you know, D by P is equal to K. If D is equal to Kp, then D by P will be equal to K. Therefore, we can take for the same gas which has got pressure P1 and density D1. When you change the pressure of the same gas to P2, then you can identify D2 by this relationship. That is, we can say D by P we can write. And if you alternate this, you will get Pd2, that is P1 by D1 is equal to P2 by D2. Got it? That is how we can find the value for either density or pressure, either initial pressure or initial density, or final pressure or final density value with the help of this expression. Got it? And here, as you can consider, regarding any problem which has got the identification or finding out the number of balloons which are able to fill with certain amount of gas with certain pressure. So that can be calculated with the help of this formula. That means we can calculate number of balloons that can be filled from cylinder containing gas at different pressure. ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ balloons ಅಲ್ಲಿ gas fill ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. So here you are just using this simple formula, N is equal to Pc minus Pb into Vc divided by P, that is Pb into Vb. So here what is this Pc stands for? Pc stands for pressure of cylinder. Cylinder ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ gas ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ pressure. Then what is Pb stands for? Pb stands for pressure of the balloon. So pressure of the balloon ಮತ್ತೆ pressure of the cylinder ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ we can find out how many balloons can be filled from that cylinder. That is this formula we can take the help of. If we go for Charles' law, it is different from Boyle's law. So in case of Boyle's law, volume is related to pressure, that is inversely proportional at constant temperature. But here which is kept constant? Pressure is kept constant. And which are two variables? Volume and temperature. So volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure. The volume of given mass of gas is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure. That is a statement for Charles' law. And V by T, it will be equal to K. So therefore, we can write one expression, that is V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. In given problem, initial volume, initial temperature and final volume is given. You can find out final temperature. So one among these four values, one will be unknown. We have to identify. And there is one more definition with respect to this same Charles' law. So in case if we consider this is Vt is equal to V0 into 1 plus alpha t. Here this is that expression, and in this expression this alpha is nothing but volume coefficient. That volume coefficient is equal to 1 divided by 273.15. Now here we can write Vt is equal to V0 plus, in spite of considering this alpha value, we have to write this value 273.15. Therefore, we can write, multiply this V0 into 1, V0 plus V0 into alpha value 1 by 273.15, that into T degree Celsius. And if we take V0 as common, Vt is equal to V0 into 1 plus T degree Celsius by 273.15. So Vt is nothing but volume at T degree Celsius, and volume of the gas at T degree Celsius, and V0 is volume of the gas at 0 degree Celsius. And what is this alternate Charles law it is explaining regarding? Here you can consider, in case the gas at 0 degree Celsius has got certain volume, that is volume at 0 degree Celsius is V naught. For every degree rise in temperature, the volume of the gas will be increased by, that is 1 by 273.15 times. If the volume of the given mass of gas is V naught at what temperature? 0 degree Celsius. For every degree rise in temperature, volume will be increased by how many times? 1 by 273.15 times as that of volume at 0 degree Celsius. ಅಂದರೆ 0 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮು, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ರೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ಗೆ? 1 by 273.15 times increase ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Therefore, if you want to calculate that volume Vt, that is at temperature, given temperature, then you are able to find out that volume at given temperature by using this formula V naught into 1 plus T degree Celsius divided by 273.15. Got it? So 0 degree Celsius ಗೆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ T degree Celsius ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Then what you will find out finally, you will find the volume. Got it? So that is according to the another alternative Charles law. And if you consider the different graphical representation for this, very first, as you know, volume is plotted against T. So when volume is plotted against T, which will be kept constant? At constant pressure. At constant pressure. Therefore, this graph is called as isobar. Why it is called as isobar? Because this graph is obtained at constant pressure, hence it is isobar. If temperature is kept constant, then it is said to be, that is in Boyle's law, temperature kept constant means that graph will be called as isotherm. Here it is called as isobar. And even we can take log. Log V is equal to log T plus log K. And here log V is plotted against log T. You are going to get the intercept log K. So you are going to get straight line here. And here you can identify that it is 0 degree Celsius, it is positive, and it is negative values for the temperature. They have found that at different pressure, constant pressure, what is that variation with respect to volume and temperature? So volume will becomes almost, that is nil. Volume will become 0 at this temperature. What temperature? At minus 273 or 273.15 degree Celsius. Got it? Hence this temperature is called as absolute zero. It is that specific temperature at which the volume of any gas will be equal, is considered as nil, or it is said to be 0. And if you go for another law other than Boyle's law and Charles law, which is that law Gay-Lussac's law or Amagat's law. So according to this law, here pressure, and it is giving relationship between pressure and temperature. Here it is volume and temperature, but it is pressure and temperature. The volume, that is pressure of given mass of gas, is directly proportional to absolute temperature at constant volume. So which has been kept constant? Volume. So here P by T is equal to K. Agar problems kotaga that is related to different pressure and temperature terms, then you have to apply this law and you can use this expression P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. And graphical representation for this law, Gay-Lussac's law, that is pressure plotted against temperature, are going to get the straight lines which are passing through the intercept. Here condition, among V1, V2, V3, V1 is less than V2, V2 is less than V3. So here at the given temperature, as you know, for specific temperature at constant temperature, what about the values of the volume of the gas at different pressure? As there is increase in pressure, there will be decrease in the volume, because V1 is less than V2, V2 is less than V3. Volume is said to be less here. Got it? Therefore, here volume getting decreasing with the increase in the pressure. That is represented by this graph. And this graph is called as what? Isochore. Why this graph is called as isochore? Because what is kept constant? Volume is kept constant. At constant volume, whatever the graph you are going to get, that graph is actually called as isoform. So you need to remember even the graphical representation for all these gas laws. Avogadro's law. So according to Avogadro's law, equal volume of all the gases contain equal number of molecules at similar conditions of temperature and pressure. If we have taken two closed containers which are of equal volume. So first container is having gas A, second container is having gas B. Both are different. And here at same temperature and pressure, if two containers are maintained with similar condition of temperature and pressure, then the two containers will be having same number of gaseous molecules. Got it? In one container, if you are filling, if you have filled oxygen gas, in another container, if you have filled carbon dioxide gas, both containers will be having same number of oxygen molecules and carbon dioxide molecules. So that is Avogadro's law. So ಅಂದರೆ Avogadro's law ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಆದರೂ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನು? ಸೇಮ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಸೊ ಆಗ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ at constant temperature and pressure, the volume of gas is proportional to number of moles. Therefore, according to this Avogadro's law, we can consider that at constant temperature and pressure, volume of gas is proportional to the number of moles present in it. Therefore, volume is proportional to n. ಈಗ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಾಲಿಟಿ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಯಿತು, ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಬೈ ಎನ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ 2ಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು, then you can use this expression V1 by N1 is equal to V2 by N2. If you take this V is equal to Kn, so V is equal to Kn ಆದಾಗ V is equal to K into N number of moles ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋ ಬದಲು mass by molecular mass. In case given problem, if you have to find volume, they have mentioned the mass and molecular mass, then this formula can be applied. So here M is equal to K into M by V, because we are shifting M molecular mass to the left hand side. M is equal to K into M by V. You know that mass by volume is nothing but density. Therefore, M is equal to K into D. So molecular mass is directly proportional to density. ಅಂದರೆ density ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಷ್ಟು molecular mass ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Both are directly related to one another. So if one decreases, other will also get decreased. If you go for a very important expression that is called as equation of state, or it is ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation, if you say for 1 mole of gas, that is PV is equal to RT. For n moles of gas, it is PV is equal to nRT. So equation, it is also called as equation of state because it represents the state of the gas with respect to pressure, volume, and number of moles, and as well as the temperature. 4 variables you have to consider here to describe the state of that gas. Hence it is also called as equation of state. What is that relationship between density and molecular mass? We can derive that relationship between density and molecular mass. Very first, if you combine Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law, you are going to get this combined equation PV is equal to nRT. By getting this combined equation, PV is equal to nRT, PV is equal to N is nothing but mass by molecular mass into RT. P is equal to M by V into M into RT. And if you consider P is equal to mass by volume is nothing but density. Therefore, dRT divided by what is left over? Capital M. Therefore, what is that relationship between molecular mass and here we can say that density, we can write relationship between density and molecular mass. We can finalize it as D is equal to Pm by RT. Density is equal to Pm by RT. Or if you write that M is equal to dRT by P. This is that relationship between density and molecular mass. Got it? We can either find molecular mass or density of the gas based on the given data in the problem. If you take this combined gas equation, that is, we can combine at two conditions for the same gas. If you are taking three variables, pressure, volume and temperature, that law can be called, that equation is called as combined gas law. And here in this combined gas law, there are two states. One is initial state and the final state, which are having three variables. Got it? Any one will be unknown. You are able to easily find out by the help of this expression. Similarly, in spite of this pressure, volume, temperature in the problem, given problem, they have given pressure, temperature and density. Then you can alter this formula as d1 T1 by P1 is equal to d2 T2 by P2. You can use all these expressions while solving problems. So depending on the problem, we have to select the relevant formula. And next, regarding the ideal gas constant value, that is R value, universal gas constant. In problem, so you should be keen observer. Based on the given data, you had to select by yourself what R value you can write, because there are different units of measurement for pressure as well as volume. Based on the given data in the problem, whether the pressure is given in atmosphere and volume liter, pressure bar and volume liter, or Pascal Newton per meter square and volume in meter cube, based on that you had to select that correct R value. Agar R value ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಮತ್ತು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಯಾವ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನೀವು 8.314 ಜೌಲ್ಸ್ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಮೋಲ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬರೀತೀರಾ, ಐದರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸ್ಕಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ನ ಮೀಟರ್ ಕ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅದರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇ, ಲೈಕ್ 0.082 1 ಲೀಟರ್, ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಮೋಲ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ನ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ನ ಲೀಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಅನದರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, 8.314 into 10 power 7 arcs Kelvin inverse mole inverse. ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ ಡೈನ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ನ ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಕ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಗ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿಸ್ ಟೇಬಲ್, ಥರೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ pressure as well as volume. And one more important thing here, you know that R value, that is universal gas constant. In case if we consider another constant called Boltzmann constant. What is this Boltzmann constant? It is the gas constant per molecule. So gas constant K is given as K is equal to R. K is equal to R by N naught. K is equal to R by N naught ಅಂದ್ರೆ Avogadro number. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬೋಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬೋಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 3.3 into 10 power - 24 ಕ್ಯಾಲರೀಸ್ ಪರ್ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ ಪರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೋಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್. ಒಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಗೆ ಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಬೋಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 1.987 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. That is calories per Kelvin mole inverse divided by Avogadro number. Hence you will get that same unit of measurement, calories per Kelvin mole inverse. That is, instead of writing mole inverse, what you are supposed to write? That is per molecule. Got it? So that is regarding ideal gas constant values.